Hi, welcome everyone. Thanks for taking this time to watch this video. There are a few things that I wanted to share with you, too, in fact. And one of them is that we wanted to follow up on the email that Jen sent out on Monday, sharing that she's going to be leaving Covenant this coming January. And I wanted to share that, Jen, while I'm going to be, of course, really sad to see you go, I'm happy, I'm excited for what God has in store with you, for you next. And I wanted to invite Jen to share a little bit about this in her own words, too. So, Jen, go ahead.
Well, thank you. I want everyone first to know that how very grateful I've been for this opportunity to partner with you, this covenant family, in sharing life and sharing the promises of God's love and goodness these past several years. I experience God most clearly when I'm working with people who each can contribute their personal gifts to reveal ministry. And I hope you've heard me say that before. I have announced that I'll be leaving my position at the end of January, but please know that our relationships remain intact and are a priority to me. I'm already partnering with personnel and session, our associate pastor nominating committee, and volunteers to provide a smooth transition in responsibilities and in programming. And I've had the opportunity already to have multiple contacts this week with Covenant families and our friends. Please reach out to me directly if you have any questions, if you have concerns, if you just want to have a conversation. My focus remains on you, God's people, and on God's future for our church. Thanks.
Thanks, Jen, and just thanks for all you're doing as you prepare for departure to help us continue asking questions about God's future for us and living into that and equipping us for that. It's been really wonderful to partner with you in that way. Even though, like I said, it's sad to prepare for this. So thank you.
Sad for me too.
Yeah. I
Mm.
did want to share some other news with you Covenant folks as well, and that's as Jen mentioned, she's working with our associate pastor nominating committee, as am I, and as that committee works, the personnel committee has hired a temporary pastoral assistant position. Y'all might remember Pastor Leslie Homer Cattell, who was with us after Patty Stoltzfus left and before I came on board. And we've hired that same position again to help with visitation and keep our folks connected a little better during an especially busy time. So we have hired Maxwell Staley, who's coming on board, and we're very excited to be working with him and the ways that we hope he will bring some connection and care. I got a chance to sit down with Maxwell and ask him a couple questions, and I'd like to invite you to watch that interview and also get to know Maxwell a little better as he joins our team. Thanks. So Maxwell, I have a few questions for you. The first of which is an easy one. I wondered if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and what's keeping you busy these days.
Sure. So I am currently a student at Lancaster Theological Seminary. I'm finishing up a Master of Divinity program. I'm in the last 20 weeks, but who's counting? I am a member in discernment with the United Church of Christ. I like to cook. I like to bake. I like to read. Um, I love to sing. I have two cats. And I actually just moved in with my partner, who is also in discernment with the Episcopal Church. And she and I love to do ministry together in any way that we can.
Can you tell us a little bit too about your background in pastoral care and caring for people of all ages, really, but especially I know you're going to be spending a lot of time focused on some of the older members of our congregation who are very dear to us.
Yeah. So in my previous life, I worked as an activities director for I don't know 5, 6, 7 years maybe at a couple of assisted living facilities as well as skilled nursing facilities. It's something that I'm still very passionate about. I was director of a dementia unit for a while as well. The type of relationships that come out of providing that level of care are truly unique. And I think that's an experience and a skill set that I will take with me in every relationship that I encounter from here on out. Right before this, I was serving at a church right around the corner from you all, UCC East Goshen. And while my official role there was worship leader, I was just in charge of their Saturday worship service. I really got to know the congregation, not only the people who were participating in the Saturday worship, but the congregation as a whole. And there were several moments where I was able to provide support for people that I didn't know that I was able to provide. And it just sort of happened organically.
When you saw this position pop up for you, this pastoral assistant position, what made you excited about pursuing it?
Well, to be completely honest, it's because I hated my last position working for a health insurance company. Um, I have been um, thinking a lot recently about pastoral care specifically. A cool thing that has happened on my seminary journey, right, is my secular friends, right, they find out that I'm in seminary and that I'm interested in church stuff, right, or I'll throw around the word pastor or preacher. And all of a sudden, the way they relate to me changes, right? And they start bringing up, things that need some support or some care. Um, and for a long time, I was like struggling, grasping at straws, right? Maybe even turning to my textbooks for answers, right? How do you support someone going through X or Y? And I think I started to finally settle into, right, this is part of identity. And authentically stepping into that role is the only way that you're going to be able to fulfill that role. So this opportunity just sort of came up at the right time, I think, when I was ready to take it.
One of the things that I'm excited about for you is that you are getting towards the end of your Master of Divinity degree, heading into ministry. Could you just tell us something that you really just love about ministry in general?
Um, for me, it's relationships. One-on-one conversations, I think for me are um, the crux of it all, right? I think that is really the way we are able to, I mean, one of the many ways we're able to feed each other, one of the tangible ways that we are able to feed each other spiritually. And I don't think a lot of us recognize that, right? So, what I feel called to is to just make spiritual connection and spiritual nourishment and care accessible, right? And let folks know that it's there for you. Um, there are ways to connect that are not necessarily as prescriptive as society says. Um, I will often have organic conversations with strangers that I'm never going to meet again, right? But those interactions are incarnational. Um, and I think what the church is called to do is to be that incarnational community. Um, so I'm seeking ordination, heading into parish ministry. Um, what I'm presenting to my committee on ministry, however, is that I'm not sure that my parish is within the four church walls.
Hmm. Yeah, isn't that true? It's also beyond. Well, Maxwell, thank you so much for taking some time today to share a little bit about yourself with our congregation. And I'm sure many of them are really looking forward to getting the chance to know you and will love having these few months together as we search for an associate pastor. And yeah, thanks for sharing your ministry with us.
I very much look forward to it. Thank you all so much for the opportunity.